be in musician's hell. Hey, mate.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome.
Good morning.
Hi, good to see you. Welcome to everybody here in the room, on
Check,
YouTube,
one.
Facebook, Zoom. Welcome, Billy.
Howdy. Love and
Hi,
peace.
glad that you're here. Everybody, I'm going to invite you to stand up and we're going to sing our first two community songs.
All right, with feeling. Shall we? You ready? All right, this is the song Everything I Need to Know. Okay. Everything I need to know about what lies before me. Everything I need to know about what lies before me is available to me. It's available to me through the mind of God within me. Everything I need to do about what lies before me. Everything I need to do about what lies before me is available to me. Is available to me through the mind of God within me. Everything I need to be at peace about what lies before me. Everything I need to be at peace about what lies before me is available to me. Is available to me through the mind of God within me. Everything I need to know about what lies before me. Everything I need to know about what lies before me is available to me. Is available to me through the mind of God within me. Through the mind of God within me. Through the mind of God within me. All right, we've done this for 3 weeks in a row. We should all know it now. Okay, all right, okay. It's called "Let Me Love in a Holy, Holy Way" by Ricky. Yeah, she's awesome, and I got to hear her do this at Agape when I played there with Kelly in 2015, and she did this song live. It was so cool. Anyway, okay. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me know that love is all around. Let me know that love is all around. Oh, let me know that love is all around. Let me know that love is all around. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Let me live in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me learn from all the ways I fall. Let me learn from all the ways I fall. Oh, let me know that love will heal us all. Let me know that love will heal us all. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me serve in a holy, holy way. Let me serve in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me share the good that's overflowing. Let me share the good that's overflowing. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Let me live
welcome to those of you who have joined us while we were singing.
Good singing out there, by the way.
Sounding good. So, let's put it out there for what's alive in us today.
Joy.
Joy. Right.
Spring.
Spring.
Sunshine.
Sunshine.
Caffeine,
Anticipation.
coffee.
Beauty. Yes, beautiful. What was that? Compassion. Thank you. Was that me?
If you get a little thing for your,
Compassion.
a little
I
thing.
better not pronounce my P's.
I think a little thing.
All right. Thank you, Anita. So, it's my pleasure to be your minister here today, and I'd like to remind us of who we are. We are a radically inclusive, spiritually progressive, supportive community that celebrates the diversity of creation. We aspire to live authentic spiritual lives through a practical application of the teachings of science of mind. We engage in sacred practices that uplift our spirit, deepen our awareness, and ignite our soul's self-expression. We demonstrate active compassion to ourselves, each other, and the world. We experience meaningful contribution through giving generously of our time, talents, and treasures. We intentionally promote our community and teachings. Today, our volunteer announcer is Hillary. Yay, Hillary. Wait, hold on just a second. I forgot something. I don't know what's going on with this. Let me move it away from my face a little bit. I just wanted to remind us that there are prayer slips in the seats behind you. Feel free to fill one out if you'd like a prayer today and stick it in the box up there by the door to the left. Also, Rev Lanny will be available for prayer after service, either upstairs in the office or anywhere if you can't make it up the stairs. So that is available. And now for Hillary. Thank you.
Hello, is that better? Great. So this week's announcements will appear on your screen if you're joining us via live stream, and there's a handout for those here in the room. If you would like one of those, please raise your hand and someone will bring it to you. You can also find all these announcements in our weekly newsletter. 1. Our Manifestation Mastery Discussion Group will continue to meet on Tuesdays for the evening session only from 5:30 to 6:30. Our Science of Mind study group will meet on Thursdays and will now only meet from 5:30 to 6:30 p.m. also. Stay tuned for upcoming forgiveness workshops as well as Healing Circle and Book Study Circle. The participants of the Revealing Newness workshop on April 2nd will meet again on Sunday, May 7th after service. Our own Dee Donnelly will be a featured artist in an exhibition at the Center for the Arts called Voices of Our Story, Shifting Perceptions, Bridging Divides from April 21st to May 13th. See the flyer in the glass case on the front porch, and it looks like this. And a former member, Kathy Mann, will be presenting a workshop at the Madeline Helen Library called New You, New Life, How to Discover Your Best Ideas and Bring Them to Life. There will be 2 one-hour sessions this Monday, April 17th, from 1:30 to 2:30, or 6:30 to 7:30. It's free admission, and there are flyers with more information on the round table in the foyer. And they look like this. They're right on that table right there. You can pick them up. And that's all I have. Thank you. Next week.
Yeah, I'll get that. Thank you. I got it. Thanks. Thank you, Hillary. So I just want to remind folks that next week is our community meeting, our important community meeting, where we're going to gather together and begin the visioning process for what we're about to co-create for the Sierra Center for Spiritual Living. So that is after service next week. Also today there's a board meeting after service if you'd like to attend. And now we have a special surprise in our service. Mary Lou has volunteered to do a sacred reading for us.
Hi, my name is Mary Lou Knapp. Today's reading is Our Deepest Fear by Mary Ann Williamson. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that frightens us most. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There's nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine, as children do. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It's not just in some of us, it's in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we're liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. Thank you.
Thank you, Mary Lou. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mary Lou. That was beautiful. And now it's time for our sacred candle lighting service. And our practitioner, Rev. Lanny, will help us out with that. Thank you, Rev. Lanny. We light these candles to celebrate the unity of all peoples, all faiths, all beings, all life. We light the first candle for the shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous peoples. We light the second candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light the third candle for Taoism, honoring the path of ultimate reality, the natural way. We light the fourth candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light the fifth candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the middle way and the path of compassion. We light the sixth candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring the teachings of Jesus as the path of love, forgiveness, and healing by the presence within. We light the seventh candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of submission to the will of God as the highest calling. We light the eighth candle for the religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. We light the ninth candle for all forms of New Thought teachings, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles of love and law. We light the 10th candle for absolute inclusivity, affirming that all are welcome and celebrated here. And we light this final candle honoring infinity of oneness as all creation, seen and unseen. And now I'm going to turn it back over to our musician for our next community song, and then our practitioner will come up for our time of inward shift.
It's called All Good, All Good.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm Reverend Lanny Howard. I'm your practitioner for today. And our community value that we're discussing today is authenticity. And when you look up the definition of authentic, it goes on and on. But what it really means is get real, be who you are. Because if you aren't who you are, who will be? We are each given gifts because we're unique in the universe. No one else has experienced what we have experienced, has brought into being what we've brought into being, has given the gifts that we've been given. So we have to be who we are. And one of the great reminders of that is Popeye the Sailor Man. Because he says, I am what I am, and that's all that I am. Right? He was a superhero, and all he needed was spinach. So we remember also that our wonderful teacher, Ralph Waldo Emerson, also said, to be yourself in a world that is constantly trying to make you something else is the greatest accomplishment. So to be yourself in a world that is constantly trying to make you something else is the greatest accomplishment. So that is our value for today, is authenticity. And so now we will ring the gong 3 times, then we will do 3 ohms, and we will go into meditation. And then I will bring us out from the meditation with a spiritual mind treatment. one power, one presence, one life energy, in, around, and through all that is, that created everything out of itself. All of the manifest universe emerged as an idea from that divine, invisible intelligence. And in it we find all love, all peace, all harmony, all wholeness, all joy, all creativity, all of abundance, all that we could think of for goodness is present in the infinite potential of that infinite life. And knowing that that infinite life is indeed everywhere, I know that it is right here, right now. Present in, through, and as me, in, through, and as every person in this room and every person who hears my voice this morning. Each one is a unique incarnation of that divine energy, of that infinite life, expressing uniquely here on planet Earth, being a beneficial presence, being of service to life, bringing forth that which is life-giving, and sharing in community all that love, all that peace, all of that harmony, all of that wholeness present in, through, and as this beloved community. And so I am grateful to know this. I am grateful for the good that is being made manifest through our wonderful musician, Billy Bensing, through our wonderful minister, Reverend Julia Robles-Scott, through all of the folks who are volunteering this morning in whatever capacity. I know that they are a blessing to this community and to the world, because we are going out into the world, and each person here creates an atmosphere of goodness around them that impacts everyone around them. So we are a harmonizing influence in the world. And so with great gratitude for this knowledge, for this knowing, and for this becoming that we are, with love and joy, I release my word into the law, knowing that the law is fulfilling the word even as I speak it and bringing it into perfect manifestation. And we affirm this truth together as we say, and so it is. So we have an affirmation this morning. And I'm going to say it, and then you can say it after I say it. And hopefully you can read it, because it's long, and the print is looking pretty small, but fortunately I wrote it down, so I don't have to read it all the way. Okay, my willingness to be vulnerable opens myself up to love, joy, sadness, heartbreak, and all the things in between, creating an expanded space to live and grow. So, my willingness to be vulnerable opens myself up to love, joy, sadness, heartbreak, and all the things in between, creating an expanded space to live and grow. And so it is. Thank you.
Is it the wind or somebody else?
Billy's going to do one more song for us.
Yes, or two more, or three.
Oh.
Is it the wind?
Somebody cares.
Somebody cares? Ah, okay. Da da da. Wasn't quite sure. All right.
This is one we sing along. This is one he does.
I'm still asleep, but at this time of the morning, I don't usually wake up till this. I'm okay in the evenings, but anyway. Yes. This is an original song. It's called "Somebody Cares for You," and I went And I actually have a little story to tell you about this song. I was about 23 years old, and I went back to Paris. I left Australia and went back to Paris and spent the summer there because I had friends. And so I went up to this church at Sacré-Cœur, and there's this beautiful, it's like the highest point in Paris, and there's this big old Catholic church. That's the area that I lived in when I lived in France for years. And so I ran up and got up early, which was unusual for me, but I ran up and I saw the sunrise, and I had this inspiration. I just felt like all is well and God takes care of us. And I ran home and I wrote this song called Somebody Cares for You. It goes like this. Baby, you're lost and lonely. Things aren't the way they should be. But everything's bringing you down, turning your whole head around. You say no one understands you. People just use and abuse you. If you don't want to play them mind games, it's their laws and your game. So hold on. People are learning, be strong with what you believe in, 'cause you don't have to be a star. You love you just the way you are. So people remember somebody cares for you. That somebody's got a plan. It take a while to understand. He's gonna let us sing our song. We know our right from wrong. We're going through our trail. Yes, some learn, some forget. That love's the only truth there is. It's the only way to happiness. Hold on. The people I learn and be strong. But what you believe in, you don't have to be a star. You love you just the way you are. So people remember somebody cares for you. Yeah, na, 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 na. Yeah, yeah. So remember people, somebody cares for you. If you get lost along the way, yeah, won't have to pray. You know He's gonna help you, yeah. 'Cause that ain't easy to be free. Yeah, no more born to be gay. So people remember somebody cares for you. Na 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 na. Hey, hey, hey. So come on, people, hold on, people, and remember, people, somebody cares for you. Woo. I don't know where that came from, but it just happened,
Came from
Came from God.
there, right? Came
it
from
just
the
kind of
one.
channels sometimes, it just comes to you,
Absolutely.
That's what Bob Dylan says. He said it used to just, these songs would just come to him, and I can relate,
Yep.
Anyway, blah.
Thank you. All right. Hi, everybody. As you know, we've been talking about authenticity last month and vulnerability this month, and the theme continues.
I can sit down, right?
Thanks, Billy. So the title of today's talk is Letting Go and Letting In. And so I was just thinking about that, letting go and letting in. I was thinking I would like to let go of creating the talk for today. And just letting in some inspirations. Yeah, you never know what's going to happen when we let go and let in. Hi. Hi, friends. I've been struggling with this thing about being on the stage. Hello. Somebody's phone's ringing. It doesn't feel comfortable looking down on my peeps. It feels like I'm looking down on you. So each week I think about, maybe I'll put a chair here and sit down. Would you be able to see me?
We want to look up to you.
Anyway, maybe I'll get used to it. But anyway, so we're talking about letting go and letting in, and one of the things about being vulnerable is we really need to take some time to learn who we are, right? It requires self-introspection. It's like those things about ourselves, even those things that we don't like. I know a lot of times in the past, I kind of didn't want to look at those things that I judged as ugly or undesirable, or, those parts of myself that I didn't want to acknowledge even existed. Do you know what I mean? Am I the only one? I hope not. And so, what I've learned over my own path, my own journey of remembering who I am, is that those things I didn't want to look at about myself, once I took the time to go within to really look at them and ask myself, well, why did I just show up like that? Why did I say things like that? I was like, this is not who I want to be. And then I delved deeper into, what happened in my past, why am I showing up because of something that happened? And I was able to discover that those things were coping mechanisms. They were my strategies for getting through whatever was going on in my life. And as I became aware of those things within myself, I was able to look at them in a different light and to thank them for helping them get me to where I am, and to be able to feel grateful that they served me to get me to this point, and that in my awareness I was able to recognize that I no longer needed them. I no longer needed those strategies and those coping mechanisms, that I could choose to bless them, thank them, and let them go. And so in that process, there comes a transformation, an internal transformation. And it comes from the awareness and the willingness to be able to look at those places in myself that require love and healing and compassion. And so when I was able to do that for myself, it became much easier for me to look out at other people and other people's behaviors and like, wow, why are they showing up like that? But then to remember, well, it could be their coping mechanism, their strategy for getting along in the world. This world is not that easy to get along in. And so then I'm able to have compassion for others and love them just the way they are, right? Because it's not about me. Whatever's going on in their life, that's what's going on for them. And what can I do? I can stand in love, I can stand in appreciation, I can stand in compassion, and realize that we're all doing the best we can in every moment, and that we're just on a journey, right? We're on this journey of self-evolution. So another thing that is required of us is allowing ourselves to be willing to uncover those things about ourselves, but also be willing to share them with people. We have to have that willingness within us. Because sometimes we built such a huge wall to protect ourselves that's so tall and so thick that we can't get through. We can't let ourselves share our deepest self of who we are with other people. And so it could require that we break the wall down. And most of us don't do it all at once. It's too scary to do that. So a lot of times we have to take the wall down brick by brick. And that can take a long time. And that's okay, right? We need to be okay with where we are and allow ourselves to take baby steps. Maybe just take one brick down at a time. And as we do that, it becomes easier. Like a baby learns how to walk and then run, it can become easier for us to allow ourselves to open ourselves up to not only know ourselves more deeply, but to allow others to know us more deeply. And when we do that, there's this beautiful opportunity for connecting at a heart level that we wouldn't get to have if we weren't doing that. So that's the gift in that. And opening up is not always easy. Like we said, it could be very scary. We may have had trauma in our past. That's why the wall was built. So it's it also, from that affirmation that we read a little while ago, it opens us up not to only more goodness, but all of life itself. The stuff that could be really messy, painful, stuff that we may not even want to experience. That opening up. It's a blessing of wholeness, right? Because even though we may experience pain and challenge and things that we'd rather not be experiencing at the moment, that's a part of the wholeness of all of life. It's the wholeness of who we are. And how in the world could we possibly live life to the fullest if we aren't allowing ourselves to show up fully in life? We can't really, right? So, here's some questions to ponder. What are some key steps in letting go and letting in? Can I have that microphone, please? I'm just going to invite us to have an interactive session with each other because we're all here together, right? What are some key steps of letting go and letting in? Anybody have ideas that they'd like to share? Listening. Hillary, good one. Feeling, right? Right. Being okay with it, no matter how uncomfortable it is. Yes. Where is it in our body? What's it trying to tell me? Feeling through the uncomfortable discomfort can be so challenging. Did I see it? Yeah. Cynthia.
This comes from that, how he talks about accepting what is, and I find that very powerful. If I can't handle something, I first need to accept it. Okay, this is what's going on, and go from there versus denying it or fighting it or resisting it. I've got to learn that.
Beautiful. Yep.
I'm very stubborn.
Just accepting what is.
And then do your best to handle it.
Mm-hmm.
Get help if you need it. Whatever.
Yeah, instead of trying to resist it or push it away or squash it down, accepting it, just accepting it. Yes, sure. Staying present. Yeah. I'm not always going to get what I want, but I'll get what I need. Right, Jean? Practice self-love. Absolutely. That is so important because when we love ourselves, we're loving the God being that we are. When we're not loving ourselves, we're denying that we are God in expression. Yes? Stop looking for happiness outside of us. Yeah. Right? It comes from within. Yeah.
Connection to source. That's the thing, you know. So many times we're looking outside for something to fulfill us, to make us happy, to make us feel whole, right? But we already are that. So instead of looking that way, how about looking this way? Yeah. Anything else? Personal bravery. Absolutely. Yes. It's hard for me too, Pat. Thanks. Yeah.
Stepping forward, even if it's uncomfortable, to be in your truth.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not easy.
Right.
You have to be vulnerable.
Yep, we have to be vulnerable. Step forward even though it's uncomfortable to be in our truth. Yep. Those are all beautiful things. Anything else? Thank you for sharing. Appreciate it. It feels good to be down there. Yeah, but then I got too old and I can't see the words when it's down there. No, Juanita made him big. Wait, I have more questions. Okay, here's another question. What areas in your life are calling for an opening so that your most authentic self can be made known? What areas of your life are calling for an opening so that your most authentic self can be made known? Yes.
Speaking exactly what I'm getting. You know, the divine is coming through. Speak it. Be willing, even if I feel uncomfortable. It's coming through me to talk to that person and tell them exactly what's coming through.
Yeah, speaking exactly what's coming through, even though it might be feeling uncomfortable. Speaking your truth is what I hear you saying.
Yes, being myself.
Being yourself. Yep.
Being me.
Right?
Coming through and I'm going to allow it.
Allowing Spirit to come through you and speaking it out loud. Yes. All right. Anybody else? Would you like to? That'd be great. Thank you. Thanks, Rev. Madeline. Yeah. So I'll say it again. What areas in your life are calling for an opening so that your most authentic self can be made known?
Self-care, to really take care of myself so that my truest self can come through. Sometimes it's easy to overlook that and take care of other things or other people, when really the most important first step for me right now can be self-care.
Oh, thanks, Mary Lou. That is so important. If you don't have that at the top of your list, I invite you to put it there. Self-care.
What I've noticed about myself lately, and I'm thinking is that the things I used to do, I don't want to do anymore. And the people that I used to like, I don't like them anymore. So I think we're going into our life is changing, that we need to get rid of the things like self-care. Yeah.
That's great, Linda. So self-care around who you want to be with and what you want to do, it sounds like. Mm-hmm.
And not just to please other people.
Right. Yep, don't please other people. Anybody else?
What was the question again?
The question is, what areas in your life are calling for an opening so that your most authentic self can be made known?
The transformation that Sierra Center is going through.
Beautiful. Did I see a hand back there? Okay. All right, great.
I also think it's important to prioritize what's really important. That's what's coming up for me right now, because I have given myself in service to a lot of different organizations, and I'm sort of going, help, help. I'm trying to do stuff for everybody, but you know, there's so much need out there. I can't meet it all if I don't as Mary Lou said, take care of myself and figure out what I really want to focus on now.
Yeah, that's such a great reminder. Thanks, Rev Lenny.
I need to work on my mind at night because I've noticed that I can be very positive in the daytime, and then at nighttime I have these negative thoughts and negative dreams, and I'm like, wait a minute. And so I wake up and I need to work on that little mind of mine.
Thanks, Javon. The naughty mind.
Giving up my coping mechanism of judging.
Yeah, that can be a hard one.
I'll go back to what Lanny said about priorities, and that brought up making choices. And I was thinking about my women's group that gets together once a month, and I got an invitation to get together with them. And I said, no, sorry, I can't. I'll be in jail. I'm taking a Citizens Academy class, and we're going to the jail to learn about it.
That's funny. Thanks, Shara. That's a good reason to be in jail.
The area that I need to work on is in relationships. I need to be my authentic self, and that's challenging sometimes.
So we've got a couple comments from Zoom.
Thank you.
Yes, so Jerry Lynn, and these, I'm not sure which question this is, I'm just going to give you their answers. Jerry Lynn, communicating, laughing, a new home connection. And Todd says, show up for people in our lives, even if you may not be feeling as such. Deciding on new purpose on the heels of retirement.
All right. Thanks for sharing out there in live stream land. Anybody else? Okay, one more question. How does our understanding of wholeness impact our ability to be vulnerable? How does our understanding of wholeness impact our ability to be vulnerable?
Well, we recognize and realize that we're not alone. And therefore, we can rely, use, and help each other.
Thank you, Marilyn.
I've contemplated wholeness for years. It's so important. You know, it makes me strive more because if I can be whole and bring myself to that point, what do I need to look at? You know, that or what section in my life, what issues that I'm not being whole, you know, I could be better. But it's always been a light. You know, there's a wholeness if I can work, you know what I mean? It's constantly working towards something.
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah, wholeness. You know, we have different dimensions in our lives. We've got work and relationships. Some of them have been mentioned today. And when we can take a look at each dimension and see, you know, what area of our life needs a little extra attention and love and evolution, then we can continue on our wholeness journey. Cynthia.
I see it the same as divine. There's this essence or energy, this wholeness that's all of life, contains all of life, and I find that reassuring because the human in me is, you know, dealing with all kinds of stuff and the planet and blah, blah, blah. But that there's a wholeness that's kind of a part of all of us, but it's also above and beyond us and around us, before us and after us. Somehow I find that reassuring, even as I go through my little daily stuff.
Yeah.
So anyway.
Thank you. Anybody else?
I think sometimes an exercise could help. And something I'm trying to remember is if I start feeling confused or I don't feel like I'm in the present, focus on being in the present, can do that by taking a breath. My mother always said, take 10 deep breaths. Now, I haven't tried that yet after 68 years, but I'm going to try it.
Thanks, Don. If not now, when? Anybody else? Well, thank you. Rev Lanny.
I think being in nature helps me to see the wholeness and to remember that I'm a part of it. And, you know, we used to say, you are whole, perfect, and complete right here, right now. So it's really recognizing, acknowledging, and being that whole being that we are with all of our gifts and all of our warts and all of that stuff. So.
Yes, thank you. Thanks for that reminder. Shall we just say that together? I am whole, perfect, and complete, just as I am right now. I am whole, perfect, and complete, just as I am right now. And so it is. There's a quote from Ernest Holmes I just wanted to leave us with. At those times when we may feel challenged or afraid to be vulnerable and authentic, kind of touched on what Cynthia was saying. It goes like this: always there is an inner, quiet, persistent confidence, a non-resistant but complete acceptance, an inward flowing with the stream of life, knowing that it carries me safely and surely to my destination and to the accomplishment of every good purpose. I think I'd like to end with a prayer. So I invite us to go within. Just feel into this space right here, to the energy in this room. Realizing and recognizing that this energy is that life force, that creative spirit that breathes us, that lights our way through our journey of life. Knowing that we are whole, complete, and perfect right here, right now. And that this now is an eternal moment, so we are whole, complete, and perfect in every moment. Knowing that everything we need to know, to do, or to be is already available for our use. Everything has already been given us. Knowing that we are incarnations of the divine, that we can allow ourselves to show up vulnerable and authentic because we are that beautiful divinity in expression. I give thanks for this center and for all of us who are showing up to co-create something new and beautiful known as the Sierra Center for Spiritual Living. I give thanks for this beautiful spring day. I give thanks for all of life. And I speak a word of blessing on all those who may be experiencing grief and distress because of things that have happened in the world. And I speak a word of blessing on the whole world, knowing that this whole world is the infinite in form. And so I believe and I accept that there is a higher thing unfolding, that it is the perfect evolution of our individualized expressions, our souls, returning to that perfect remembrance of the magnificent spiritual beings that we are. And as we continue to wake up and remember the truth of who we are, we bless not only ourselves and our spiritual community, but the greater community and the world. For it is in this recognition of knowing who we are and whose we are that we get to show up authentically and let our light shine. And so I give thanks for this day, knowing it is holy. I give thanks for this life, knowing that it is holy. I give thanks for all that life has to offer us, knowing that we are a part of it. We are not separate from it. We are part of all of life. And so I release this word with thanksgiving for this time together, for this time of sharing, for this time of connecting, for knowing that we are on a journey that is a beautiful co-creation process. I just give thanks for everyone who has come together to show up and shine their light. And so I release this word as our truth, and together we say, and so it is. Okay, let's see, where are we? Oh, it's time for our conscious giving. So I'm going to invite us to stand. And we'll say our prosperity affirmation together. I give this gift with love and joy from a consciousness of abundance. Divine love blesses and prospers all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And so it is. And you may be seated for our offering song. Thank you. Oh, thanks.
I listen to the wind of my soul. Right in the well, I think only God really knows. Side upon the setting sun, but now, I never wanna walk the one. Never, never, never. I listen to my words, but they fall far below. I ain't letting my music take me where my heart wants to go. I swam upon the devil's lake. I'll never make the same mistake. Never, never, never.
Thank you so much, Billy. Thank you all for your gifts. Most of all, thank you for the gift of being yourself, being here.
Yay.
So I want to bless these gifts, knowing that these gifts are a form of God manifest as money. And so this money, this God energy, goes out into the world. It blesses this center, but it also blesses our community partners in Nevada County. And as we give, we know that we receive, for it is that divine law of reciprocity. And so I give thanks for the willingness to give and give and give. Knowing that we are the gift, I simply say thank you, and so it is. Okay, what are you taking away with you from today? Wholeness. Gratitude. Vulnerability. Peace. Looking forward. Say that again. Oh, looking forward to the rest of the day. Yes, the weather. Beautiful. Inspiration. All right. Thank you, thank you. All right, well, let's stand for our benediction. Something wonderful is happening as me right now.
Something wonderful is happening as me right now.
It's this thing called vulnerability.
It's this thing called vulnerability.
It's this thing called authenticity.
It's this thing called authenticity.
It's this thing called shining my light.
It's this thing called shining my light.
I know it.
I know it.
I feel it.
I feel it.
I sense it.
I sense it.
Because I am it.
Because I am it.
And so it is.
And so it is.
And now for a closing song. Thank you, Billy.
You can remain standing.
Come gather round, people, wherever you roam, and lift that waters around you and roll. And except soon you'll be drenched to the bone. Every time for you they were saving, yeah, you better start singing, or you'll sink like a stone. For the times they are changing. Come writers and critics, prophesize with the pen. Yeah, if your eyes wide, the chance won't come again. Don't speak too soon, for the wheel's still in spin. There's no telling who it's today, and the loser now, laid away, for the times they are changing. Senators, congressmen, please heed the call. Don't stand in the doorway and don't block the hole, for he who gets hurt will be he who has stormed. There's a battle outside and it's raging. It'll soon shake your windows and rattle your walls. Sometimes they are changing. From mothers and fathers throughout the land, you won't criticize what you can't understand. Your sons and your daughters are beyond your command. Your road is rapidly aging. Please get out of the new one if you can't stand again. But the times they are changing. Line it is drawn, the curse it is cast.